Hi there, everybody, and welcome to Roll with Advantage. Great to be here on this fantastic evening. Let's go ahead and roll the intro and get started. Welcome to Tales Evrand. Yeah, that's the one.
To welcome you to the world of Evrand.
The Seekers of Insomnia.
I told you to leave me alone. I could do this.
I wanted us to live and I wanted him dead.
Oh, I am so happy to see you.
Every party needs a pooper.
Raise the blade!
John, are you having fun? And we're back. Hello. Take it away, John.
Thank you for joining us for the Tales of Evrand. It's been, what, 3 weeks?
Too
Since we last played?
Been too long.
Too long.
It's been 84
Let's not dilly-dally any longer. Let's get right into the game. And before we do, I don't do the summary. The players do. Yeah, that's right. I said it. The players do the summary, not the DM, because that shit's lame. So, Ryan, if you could take it away, let's bring us into the game.
Yep, I'm the lame one today.
Nah.
All right. Ishna, the starborn nightmare, is no more. And yet, like every day since I met her, I worry that I cannot trust my own senses. In dreams, everything seems right. It's only upon waking up when we realize that something is wrong. And yet I know that I am in the waking world. The guilt and pressure is lighter in my dreams. Here they are far heavier. Seeing my friends fight, bleed, even die for me. It's a gift I can never repay them for. I would never have involved them if I had a choice. Pushing them away only would have made them want to help me more. I know it comes from love, and yet that love only continues to make me worry and fear for their future. At least it's a future that we all still walk together. To my friends, I am forever grateful. To my parents, I'm not sure what words I can offer that would do justice to what took place. With imminent destruction, you fought through your fear and chose love. You put me above everything else to ensure that I would have a future. I thank you for that, and I will find a way to honor our legacy. To you, Ishna, I can only repeat what I said to you in your dying breath. The Astral Sea is knowledge. It is true freedom. It is a network meant to navigate, free from strife and discourse. The culmination of knowledge here is far greater than any library. You took what you could for personal power. Yet it was always there, Ishna, for all of us. You chose to hoard it, and you paid for that with your life. I know not where a creature like you goes to rest, but I assure you that I will never forget you. I learned many lessons from you. And don't worry, I will use your realm far better than you ever did.
On that note, as pan back to the party, who have just jumped onto the Nautiloid and made their way back into the atmosphere as the star, the rock that Ishna calls home, erupts and shatters into millions of pieces, leaving behind a rather large asteroid belt in its wake. You were able to see all of these glowing souls make their way out from the center of this rock. The asteroid belt in front of you glows with that same reddish orange. You all take yourselves and rest, sitting down, watching outside of the window as all of you are battered and bruised, some of you near death, others of you experiencing death, but coming back. Seekers of Insomnia destroyed Ishna the Starborn Nightmare, a plague on the Astral Sea itself, an entity known throughout the sea. Gone because of all of you. As the Nautiloid sits there in space, not moving, gathering yourselves, I'd like to ask the party what's next.
If everyone's just kind of like sitting and recovering, Gak will go over to Gideon and he'll just sit down next to him.
Are you okay?
I'm alright, Gak. And you?
I've been worse. If you need, I can try to fly the ship.
Maybe a little later. I have a one stop we need to make before we before we return to Stellaris to refuel.
Okay, just let me know if you need anything. You'll know where to find me.
That I do. You're a hard one to miss, Gak.
Gak will just smile, and then eventually he'll just stand up and start to walk away.
Yeah, Yrsa will walk over to Gideon and just say, "Do I have permission to give you a hug?"
Yes, Yrsa.
And she will give him a hug.
And he just whispers in her ear, "You don't have to ask."
I know.
And he'll return it.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
She'll give him a squeeze, and feeling like he probably needs space, she'll give him some space. And then she's gonna go over to Rian, and she's gonna punch him in the shoulder.
Well, wait. I think that before you punch him, Rian did need help getting on the ship. Rian is currently at 5 points of exhaustion. So his speed is 0, his hit point maximum is halved, and he has disadvantage on everything.
Okay.
So he's like,
realized you were gonna cry about it. Okay.
Well, let's
I'm gonna go ahead and also heal. Like Basil would have probably healed him right after the fight.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and cast Cure Wounds.
Enid's not the strongest one here, but she will help Rian walk onto the Nautiloid. She's not saying much to anybody, but she'll help.
wounds damage.
Yeah. I mean, Yrsa. I mean, if it's okay with you, Joe, also cast
Did it not go
Cure
through?
Wounds.
Yeah, that's fine.
It was 32.
No, I just.
It was.
The healing is okay. I just wanted to. And 9. Okay. It's just that it's also part of a punch.
I casted Cure Wounds at 3rd level, Joe, and it gave you 32.
Yeah, I saw it pop up in the D&D Beyond chat.
Okay, it was not showing up on my end, but thank you.
I will say, as you go, all of you go over to like help Rian. Hold on. Yrsa and Basil. Oh, and Enid. Okay, so you guys have pretty good passive perceptions. Gak, you're not around here, right?
I guess not. I assumed we were already on the Nautiloid.
Yeah, you're all in the Nautilus.
I'm wherever
just
Gideon is, I guess.
Okay, so up in the helm. We'll say that the Rian was down where the navigation drive is, so one floor below. All of you, because you have high passive perceptions, would be able to notice that as you're kind of getting Rian up, as his clothes are kind of moving, when they kind of when they're not touching his skin, there's a dull bluish purple light that is emanating from under.
Okay, well, Yursa's gonna punch him anyway.
Oh.
And
Ow.
then give him a hug. A very
Okay.
tight hug.
Thank you.
I am very upset with you.
Yeah.
That's all she's gonna say. Give him a hug. And she'll cure wounds after she punches him.
You can tell that Rian has more he maybe wants to say, but he doesn't feel up to it right now.
I think after the cure wounds hug is done between the two of them, I think Enid, just not knowing what to say, she'll just kind of like put a hand on Rian's shoulder, make sure he's comfortable, or okay, and then head up to the helm where Gideon and Gak are. Assuming that probably the two healers will address the glowing purple chest thing. So just thinking it's not necessary for her to be like, well, what's that? When we got two other people who are better at it. So.
Basil actually, you can kind of see her in this little haze. You know, as soon as the adrenaline drops and your body starts getting exhausted after everything, she's and is Gideon right here?
No,
I can't
he's up at the
remember.
helm.
Okay.
People are kind of switched around right now.
Gotcha.
Whoops, that's my fault.
So Basil's just gonna look over to Rian, and when Rian looks at her, you can see just this kind of dullness in her eyes, and she's gonna open her mouth to say something, and then she pauses and closes it, and I need a moment. And she's just gonna sprint out of the room, and she's gonna go up to the top deck away from everybody. And I don't know how the helm fits in there, so if you have to go through the helm first, y'all are just gonna see her sprinting out.
Well, if you want to get away from everybody, you could instead just kind of go down one more to the cargo deck and then just be
Oh,
on
yeah, forgot
a
that.
larger part of the ship.
Yeah, so she'll go down to the cargo deck.
And you guys can move your tokens around as well.
Me.
Yursa would get up to go after Basil, but she'll kind of pause to give her time as she turns back to Rian. Kind of furrows her brow. You can tell she's very, almost more emotionally exhausted than physically exhausted. And she'll sit back down. What is this? And she'll kind of touch, I guess, whatever the purpliness is happening as gently as she can.
I don't know. It was there when I woke up, I guess. But I don't know.
Do you feel any different?
It feels cold, I guess. But not painful. And,
sorry.
no, go ahead.
Can Yrsa try to figure out what this is? Maybe a medicine check of some sort as she looks at it as if it was a wound to be medicine checked on?
Yeah.
Okay.
You will. You can't see it with his tunic on. It is underneath. So, if Rian consents to it.
I mean, Yrsa's not gonna ask. She's just gonna start taking it off.
Okay. All right. Medicine check.
All right.
Ow, ow, ow. Careful, careful.
I'm sorry. I want to know what's happening.
Okay.
I want to guidance myself also because as a Baldur's Gate player. Oh, what? Did it roll?
It's a natural one.
Did.
Oh,
You don't want to
wow.
look at it though.
Oh, okay.
You
I
step.
have +9. What the fuck? We're off to a great start today, guys.
So
Can I
as
still guidance
you
myself?
as you start to remove and look at what is underneath, you can see this pulsating glow as you start to remove Rian's tunic, and you can see what looks like a blue and purple nebula pulsating underneath the skin, almost showing the rib cage as it pulses, and it's like the galaxy that kind of goes and travels from the chest to the right arm, the beginning of the right arm. You don't know what any of this is. You just know that it is some sort of affliction.
Does it hurt if I put pressure on it?
I think probably at that moment, it's funny, he doesn't have any movement speed, so I think when you press onto it and like you interact with that part, there's some type of like switch that flicks in Rian where you see him kind of like phase out of reality for a moment and then reappear in the same spot. He does take a d6 of damage though. Wow. Oh. So he takes,
Yeah, not bad.
yeah. As he appears, he goes, "Oh, well, that was odd."
Maybe this is a part of Ishna that you've, I guess, have taken with you.
Yeah. Hopefully more Astral Sea and less of Ishna, but I think you might be right. Oh.
Maybe a bit of the power she pulls from in the Astral Sea. As long as it's not, I guess, causing you any immense pain or gonna hinder you in any way.
I don't think so.
You can see that she kind of has like tears in her eyes, but she's like really blinking them back. Okay, well, if there's anything else I can do to help, I will.
And you see kind of looks to her. So there's something I need to give you.
Okay.
And you can see that he sort of grips his wrist to where the bracelet is, and you can see as he channels the magic into it, Hikari forms near him. And he sort of leans up against Hikari and onto the saddlebags, and he begins to unclip a part of the bag and open it and pilfer through. And And he pulls out what looks to be a small leather case of some sort. And he sits back down and he kind of taps the ground next to him for you to sit down next to him if you'll join him.
Yeah, she does.
I always thought that after everything happened in my home, I always thought that whatever ended up happening to me was going to be insignificant and mean nothing in the grand scheme of things. The world was so gray and dull. I don't need to. I don't know what our future days have in store for us. And I don't need to know. But if something like this, God forbid, were to happen again, I don't. There is no worse pain for me than you not knowing how you've changed my life. The world used to be so gray and dull and drab. Then you helped me see. And he'll open the case, and you can see that there is a collection of paintings in here. 10, maybe 20. You can see a painting of the Port Whitestone in Eldon. A painting of Stormhold Keep. A painting of the plains landscapes outside of Hombefort. A painting of the vineyards in Woebrook. You can see a painting of the courtyard tree in Sangsa. A painting of Yrsa's Grove. A painting of the fireworks above Shredina. 2 paintings of the Astral Sea. One you can recognize done by Rian, the other one you can recognize as done by Gak. The final 2 are both of Yrsa. One is her that Yrsa will remember very clearly when Rian painted it. The world around her is gray. She is ensnared by shadow. But Yrsa is still in color, even though the world around her is gray, even though her face is so sad. But then there's the last one. Another one of Yrsa, but this one is... It's not perfect. It's not the most accurate portrait that has ever been done. But the detail, and most importantly, the color. It's a portrait of Yrsa, but surrounding her is this mountain of flowers and colors. I needed you to know. I see the world this way because of you. And God forbid I did not come back. The worst pain I could have ever known was not having you know that. And he'll kind of hand the paintings to you, and he'll say, regardless of what happens in the future, or whatever our future days have in store for us, I want you to keep those.
These are beautiful, Rianne. Really. And here I thought you'd never improve.
Oh. Hurts to laugh.
When Gideon died, we all made promises to ourselves that we would never let something like this happen again. And I think we all truly believed that. It kind of like looks the direction that Basil and Enid both went. And I think the reality is that sometimes we cannot always control what happens around us as much as we want to. And I think it is affecting all of us in different ways. In a way that for some maybe they see as though they failed you. Others, the fear of losing what they have created with you. A friend, parental figure, a warrior, someone that they love. This isn't something we're going to get used to. Nor is it something we want to happen again. And it has taken everything in me to not break at the thought of losing you. But it was very terrifying, Rianne. For many years you have been a rock at my side. A tree to protect me from the rain, to provide shade and shelter when I need it. Friend to make me laugh and smile, and to remind me who I am. And to know that in a moment that was all gone. To lose someone again. It is a horrible feeling, and I know everyone right now is wrestling with it, but I wanted you to know that I do not know how I would have lived with that pain either. I don't know what the future has, but I do know that where you walk, I will walk. I will be at your side. And you will be at mine. And maybe now I can be your tree and your shelter when you need it most. Because it looks like you are going to need it for some time.
He nods with a smile. Well then. Neither of us know what the future has in store. And he'll kind of grab onto her hand and squeeze and say, Why don't we discover it together then?
She nods and gives a more gentle squeeze, kind of feeling bad for punching him in the shoulder. The others are going to take some time. I think there are many different layers of hurt that are stemming from a much larger root somewhere else. But when you get the chance, you should speak with both Basil and Enid. And check in with Gideon, too.
I will. In fact, I think right now, I think Basil needs me most. If you, wouldn't mind helping me get there.
I will be your tree. And she'll offer to lift him up.
Yeah. And he'll take you up on that.
Yeah, you're so stronger. What's my
I,
strength?
I didn't want to make a joke during it, but
11.
the whole like rock thing, I was like, she was a rock. Literally, like not even 5 minutes ago. So
Moving this boulder, baby. We moving it.
That's so much older.
We
Sorry, I'm
moving it.
back to the drama.
Yeah, you're so well help Rianne the direction in which we saw Basil kind of go.
So,
But she'll drop him off there and give them their space.
so as this is happening, Basil, you have run off. Below deck, I'd like to ask, what is Basil doing?
Basil is. Are there any windows?
Not down here.
Damn it. I mean, it doesn't make a difference. I just wanted windows.
You played the beginning of Baldur's Gate?
I did, yes.
There's
I
no
get it.
windows on this Nautilus.
Yeah. She's kind of. You know how when you have so much stress and sadness that you just can't stop moving? You know, she's pacing and she's rubbing her hands together and, you know, running her hands through her hair and very visibly off-put. Ready for a grippy sock vacation. She's just not doing too hot. And, you know, kind of talking to herself a little bit, but also aiming it at her mom, you know, basically telling her everything that happened in case, you know, she wasn't able to really see anything and trying to confide in her, but knowing that it's not really something that could have been helped. You know, we knew going in Ishna was a very strong villain, and even though Basil had 2 diamonds, she saw how easy it was to try to save him and then just have it not work, and it kind of brought her back to what happened to Gideon. Having that ability but not being able to, and even though it worked the second time, that first time of it not actually saving Rianne definitely really got to her. So she's upset with herself, she's upset with the situation, upset with Ishna, you know, upset with Rianne for no friggin' reason, just because he couldn't help dying, but he died. So so that's kind of the stressy Bessie that she is right now.
Okay. So Basil, as you're kind of pacing down below the cargo deck, the Nautiloid at this point is slowly coasting. And as it is coasting near this new asteroid field, you do catch glimpses of these lights, faint glows, passing into the wall, then out of the wall from the front to the back. You can see multiple of these globes that are doing this. It looks familiar in a way, but it is strange. And I would like to ask, are you focusing on these or not? You.
Me? Yeah.
Okay. As you focus on these, you can see these globes, these turn into humanoids. And they start to form what looks like a corporeal body as they kind of just walk in and out like spirits walking through the astral sea, colliding with the nautiloid and just passing through. You can see some of them look like creatures or entities that you've never seen before. However, there are many passing through that have long hair. It's hard to make out colors of anything other than the greenish blue light that they give off. But a lot of them have these very accentuated pointy ears and stars for eyes, very reminiscent of Gideon. And you see multiple of them pass through. Are you reaching out to any of them?
Yeah, she's, teary, your throat gets tight, and she's, hello?
Make a religion check with advantage.
Come on, girlfriend. You can do it. Yeah.
21.
21.
As you speak the words hello, there's one, again, hard to make out any color, with shorter hair that goes to the shoulders. The ears are accentuated with many, many piercings on them. A very elongated and chiseled face. They look to you. Hello?
Hey, are you okay?
I'm free.
Yes.
I'm free.
Do you know where you're going?
Be one with the sea.
I'll be honest, I've never met a spirit in the astral sea. I'm not quite sure where you go or how to get there.
It's all around us.
So do you, just fly off the ship?
I'm not sure.
Float? I'm sorry, I'm really emotional right now.
Are you one of the ones that saved us?
Is she? Okay. Yeah.
The spirit looks to you. Thank you.
For sure. Happy to help. And if you'd like, I can help you again. If you want to go into the space sea.
Thank you again for freeing us. And you see the spirit just kind of walks through the nautiloid and disappears. as you continue seeing these spirits just kind of traveling through, as though the nautiloid is just kind of passing through them as it's coasting through the astral sea. You hear one voice that actually reaches out to you. A male, one of these astral elves with pointed ears, and you can see even from the glow and the just green and blue that his cheeks, and there are tattoos that cover his cheeks and forehead that go a little bit brighter, and there is this small crown that looks like antlers almost of some sort of astral beast. As he goes,
"What is wrong, child?"
I failed a second time at bringing someone that I love back to life, and I got lucky that it ended well, but it just reminded me that I'm not as strong as I thought I was.
you can see as you started to talk to him that his face looks surprised that you could actually hear him and see him. As he kind of loses the face of surprise, he kind of walks over and says,
"And how do you suspect you are a failure? All of
Because
you are alive."
Yes, but if I hadn't had a second diamond, I would have failed. I got lucky with the second round, and my friend, who is the reason why we're here, I failed him when he died, and we got lucky by going to talk to a dragon who brought him back. And this is something that I'm supposed to be able to do. I should be able to do these things. I literally can bring back life and take away life. And for some reason, I can't seem to do either one very right.
But you have done both. One thing I have learned, or had learned, is that our mistakes, we always learn from them. We always get better.
Did you get better at yours? I'm
I
sorry.
made a horrible decision.
You don't have to tell me if you don't want to.
You travel with someone I know.
Who?
as he kind of leans down and says,
I named him Kirdon.
Are you his father?
My name is Dominus. I am his father. Was.
Is. It still is.
There is no amount of words or praises I could give you for saving our souls.
You
brought one of my best friends into this world. And I can't thank you enough. You have such a great son. He's smart and he's kind. And he's funny and brave and so many other descriptive words that I can use.
I am so happy to hear.
And I know he'd love to meet you.
I will never atone for what I did. I can only ask forgiveness. I do ask that you relay a message to him.
Of course.
There is one of us, one of our family, that is still alive. If Gideon goes seeking, he will find him at our home. Tell him to look for my brother, Astral.
Spell that for me. That's pretty.
If you do seek Crystal City, or what is left of it, be warned that it is dangerous. Those that invaded and destroyed our homeland tore it to pieces and made it their own.
Who or what destroyed it?
They are known in the astral plane as the Githyanki.
It's Yankee. I don't think I've ever heard of that race before.
Conquerors in a constant battle with the Illithid.
You see he looks around the Nautiloid.
Be safe and careful if you do seek this out.
I will relay that message to him. And before you leave, I have a mother, and she is quite powerful. I'm not sure if you're familiar with her. She's the god of death, the Raven Queen.
I am familiar.
Many people think that she's some distant, emotional-wise person. That only to her it's just life and death. You make the choices you make, and then the outcome is what it is, and that we can't repent in the afterlife or receive forgiveness. But she is one of the most loving people I've ever met, and she always was, even before I knew she was my mother. There are things that we've all done, things that we will continue to do. And I don't know what it is that you did, but you are forgiven. You have also made sacrifices, And those are equally important. There are a lot of choices that we make in life, some good, some bad.
Felicity, I'm gonna murder you.
And that's what makes us real. So, she'll be watching over you, just as you watch over your son. And
Thank you.
I'll make sure that Gideon stays safe. And I hope you stay safe.
I thank you. I would thank all of you if I could. I can be at peace knowing that he is in good hands, surrounded by people who love him.
We do.
And with that, you see him smile and nod. And instead of walking through, he just starts to vanish, turn into dust, almost like a fairy fire in the room, then disappears. The soul put to rest. There is one thing that catches your eye. There's another individual that stood close to him. Female, even longer hair and longer pointed ears. She walks past and up the steps. The others do not see this, but she walks past Yrsa, Brienne, slowly walking up the stairs, till eventually walking past Enid, Gak, Gideon with your back turned, sitting in the seat with the helm in front of you. You don't feel it at first, then there's a small bit of warmth. It starts to envelop your back and shoulders. Again, not seeing this, her hands, arms wrap around Gideon, hugging, and you swear that you hear,
I love you, my son.
and without seeing it, she disappears. Gideon, until you use it, you can cast the spell Find the Path.
Cool. I will remember that.
Nice.
At this moment in time, Brienne and Yrsa are walking down to find Basil. As that is happening, I will say, is Enid, Gak, and Gideon saying anything or doing anything as this is happening?
I don't think Enid has much to say, but I think she will, like, probably after the mother gives the hug and everything, just so it's like different beats, she will kind of just come up next to Gideon. I assume he's looking out the helm, kind of like at the stars and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she'll just kind of lean on the helm thing with next to him and just say, "You did good. Really good."
We always do.
How does it feel?
Complicated. Like everything is.
Maybe one day things will be easy.
I don't think anything worth pursuing is ever easy, though. Someone would have done it already. We've always been path makers in that way. We had a lot of easy options every step. We never took them.
Is that how we got the name Insania? Because I wasn't there for that.
You'll have to ask Rian. I still don't quite understand.
Well,
Are you alright?
about as alright as everybody else is. You have a lot to be proud of. Just remember that.
I know. I think, like you know, though, it's hard to feel that way sometimes, even if you know it.
And that's why we have reminders.
Well said. Thank you, Enid.
And she'll nod and like leaning on the dashboard and be like, so are you sure you want Gak to run this? Because I totally can give it a shot.
He asked first.
All right. That's fair.
Listen, I've played Baldur's Gate. It's not that hard. You take the two little thingies, you connect them, and then you go.
You connect the
It's way
tentacles.
it's way harder than that, guys. You gotta
Two
take.
tentacles.
This isn't the Holdo maneuver. You gotta. Oh, John's gone. Shit, I didn't realize.
Otherwise, I mean, Ina doesn't have many words right now, so that's about all I had.
Yeah, I think Gideon's still just kind of breathing after everything, so he's not really kind of pursuing anything. Just kind of thinking, especially after what just happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you guys seen any good movies lately, or
Barbie.
Barbie.
Oh, no, cool. No, that's cool. It's cool.
I want to go see Talk to Me, that A24 movie.
Ooh.
I'm ready to be scared.
It does look scary. I mean, we could just move on to the next conversation. I don't think we need John to.
I was about to say, do we just want to move on to Rian and Basil, or
Yeah, no,
make an executive decision? All right.
Yeah.
So, as Rian walks, as the other DM here, as Rian walks down the steps with the help of Yrsa, he would sort of look to Yrsa and say, "If you'd like, I think I can handle it from here."
She'll just smile and give your arm a squeeze and go back up to Gideon and Gak.
So I think trying to do his best to put on a brave face and walk without the limp and really just put one foot after the other, he'll start to approach Basil and say, "All right. Hi. I'm here. I'm good. Thanks to you. And I just wanted to say thank you." And he'll kind of take a few more steps forward to be a little bit closer to her, like right next to her, or unless she like seems like detached from the world, then maybe giving her a little bit more space.
Yeah, you can see her just really tense, kind of like her body's just vibrating with pent up energy. And when she sees that he's going to move a little bit closer, she's going to step away and start pacing again.
Hey, whoa. I'm not sick, I promise.
She turns to look at you and she's mad. You can see her just deep frown, and even though she's still kind of pacing, you know, she keeps looking at you dead in the eye.
Rian, I love you. I love you, and you died. I've seen so much death, and it felt like you were untouchable. But then you died. And you died in darkness, and it was silence, and you were alone. And I think that is the worst kind of death there is. You were alone. And I can't help but think of all of the what ifs. What if I wasn't even there? What if I didn't have another diamond? What if it didn't even work a second time? And if you were gone...
Basil.
If you were gone forever... If you cease to exist in this life, in my life, I might as well not.
No. Stop. And he'll move closer to her, and I think he'll kind of, I think what he would probably do is pull her in for a hug.
Yeah, she's just gonna lunge.
Yeah.
And hug him back.
As he's like squeezing you pretty tightly, like, I'm here, you know. He'll say,
You can't think like that. I know it's hard. I know. But after all the years I've lived, and as all of you remind me, it's been a few, I've learned a lot.
and he'll kind of pull away so that way he can kind of look straight at her and say,
we can't linger on these what ifs. Because they're not what's happening now. What matters is what happened. I wasn't alone. I wasn't. Because if I was alone, I would not be standing here right now. I was with my family, right? And they're not going to let me crumble to dust on some asteroid in the middle of nowhere. No. They are going to get me back up on my 2 feet, and then they are going to apparently punch and heal me all at the same time. You are the reason I'm standing. That's how I see it. You saved me. You did. And you should be proud of yourself for that.
and he'll kind of hug her again.
And she's gonna wrap her arms and... I hope you know that. You can.
Well, I was gonna say, the thing you're gonna have to learn about being an Alvain is we don't give up, alright?
I wouldn't. And I want you to know that I would do anything to find you. The gods themselves couldn't stop me. And I'd spent the rest of my days and the afterlife searching for you. Because your soul is too precious to not live as long as it can. And I can't lose you. That would be the final nail on my coffin, Rian. And that coffin's been closing for a while, and I need you to help me keep it open.
I will, but Basil, if something does happen to me.
No.
No, you need to listen to me. The world needs someone like you. need you. And the last thing I want for you is to fall apart because I'm not there. If I'm not there, then that means you need to be strong for them. Because you are one of the toughest people I've ever met. Tougher than me most of the time, if we're being honest.
It's not true.
I love you, Basil.
Love you. Do not do that to me again, Rian. You will not do that to me again.
No, I hope you understand that I am being entirely honest when I say I have no plans of doing that ever again.
I will literally beat the shit out of your soul.
Okay, all
I
right.
will haunt you as a mortal.
Okay, all right. You've made your point. You've made your point. I think that for as long as she would want to stay there, he would continue to hold her.
And she'll pull back a little bit and, wipe the tears from her eyes and probably grab her tunic and wipe her nose on it. I know that I've had a lot of talks with people on if I don't make it, or how to go on without me kind of thing. But after this fight that we just had, it also got me thinking. I am also not untouchable. And I want to keep you alive as much as I can, for as long as I can. And I will do anything, because I feel that that is my purpose. It's always been my purpose to keep people alive. And whether you agree with me or not, whether anybody else agrees with me or not, I will do anything. Because I'm not untouchable. No one is. But I can still be a barrier so that someone else can remain untouchable for just a little bit longer. Beth is my mother, but she can be a bitch. So, sorry, Mom. She knows what I mean.
I hope so.
I called us co-workers, so I think she knows me pretty well.
Oh, good.
I didn't mean to run off like that.
No.
I thought I might scream and kick things, and I didn't think that would be nice in your state. How's your glowing?
Causes me to teleport sometimes. So, I think that's a net positive.
What?
Yeah,
any kind of, just because he doesn't really know how it works yet. It only happened when you're suppressed on him, so he'll like take his hand and like press on to the area where that like blue astral magic is, and as he presses in, you see him like pop, like disappear and reappear like 5 feet away. Oh, I traveled that time.
Is this the second time have you always been able to do this?
Nope. Ow. Oh.
Oh.
Ow.
You
Makes
okay?
Yeah, it makes my head hurt a bit whenever I do it, but
Oh. I have some herbs that could help with a headache.
yeah.
I don't have tea, but they're chewable.
No need to worry. I always come prepared. And he'll conjure Hikari out of the bracelet. And he'll say, actually, I'm probably going to keep you out from this point on. I feel like I'm going to need some support. Is that okay to Hikari?
Hikari looks towards you and nudges you and nods.
He'll give neck scritches. And he'll kind of open the saddlebags and pull out a very small, very petite kettle. We just need fire now.
I think I can do that, and whatever fire spell I have, we're gonna do it non-lethal on a kettle.
I think you have. We'll say. Oh wait, thaumaturgy can do it, right?
Can it?
I think so.
You cause flames to flicker, brighten, dim, or.
But is it real or is it?
Oh wait, I have a tinderbox in my inventory.
We could
Or you
also
can
use
buy-
that.
Yeah, or you can sacred flame it. I'll allow that to catch something on fire if you.
Oh, we're
will
gonna
it
have
to.
holy tea.
My hand is on fire. And you just set the kettle on it.
It's like it. Basil's sacred flame looks like the black flame from Elden Ring.
Oh yeah, the black and white.
Oh, sick,
wow.
sick. She's so cool.
This is cool.
Yeah.
So as the three of you are down in the cargo deck making tea, Enid, you hear from behind you. Psst. Hey. As you turn around,
Yeah.
there is standing Moon.
She's gonna run up and like almost hug Moon.
Ah! And you hug her and you almost fall down the staircase. She's like, oh, it's good to see you too.
Can
Are you
everyone
okay?
else see Moon?
If Gak, yeah, you can hear her, so you turn around and you can see her.
But only Rian met Moon, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Who is this? How are they on?
Oh,
This is Moon.
Moon,
yeah. Hi, Gak.
can I give you a hug?
Sure.
Okay.
And Gak's gonna give her a hug.
She's so small compared to you. But as you give her this hug, you feel this cold kind of emanating from her. But it's not malignant or reminds you of a blizzard. It's almost like a cold that would kind of cool you down in a hot summer day. That's kind of what it feels like as she gives you this hug. And Gideon, are you out on the deck?
Yeah, I think he would
okay.
have gotten up to go.
Okay, so Moon just says, "It's nice to meet you, Gak."
It's nice to meet you too. Are you here to join the crew or something? Or
Do you want me to?
yeah, but
Yeah.
I would love to, but I do have like a whole court of Fae kind of chase me, so they would kind of put you guys in danger.
Hey, people are chasing us too.
No, you don't want these people chasing you. Trust me. Look. I've been here for your adventures, and you guys are great, powerful, and I just can't risk having the whole Court of the Moon trying to track me down and get you guys in trouble.
We get
But I
ourselves
guess-
into trouble, so it's all good.
Well, we'll be in trouble in 2 different places at once.
That's true.
But I can stay around for a little bit.
Please do. I
She
could
looks over
really
to you.
use you.
Same. Honestly, I'm glad you guys are alive. And as you kind of look closer towards her, you can see that there is underneath. There are these slight bluish stains to her white clothing, and you can see that some parts of her face and arms and hands look a little bit darker than her pale, almost white skin, like almost like a darker blue.
What's going on? And she'll like take her hands, like clearly like examining those markings.
We remember when I told you we kind of share everything? Soul bonded.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you get hurt, I get hurt.
Why doesn't that happen to me when you get hurt?
Maybe she
Well,
doesn't get hurt.
I didn't want to say it, but yeah. It's okay. I'm fine. It's just some scratches and bruises. They'll heal in a day or so.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't have to feel bad about it. Seriously.
I
I'm
just
okay.
feel like I get you in so much trouble.
Trust me, not as much as I've gotten you in.
I
We're
can
kind of
handle
evening
trouble.
out the scales.
I don't know. I've been thinking a lot, and I have a lot of thoughts swimming around in my head about so much that just happened and everything that you told me and everything you told me not to do that I'm probably going to do anyway. But I don't want to
Please
hurt
don't.
you
It's not a matter about hurting.
or making things worse for you.
It's just best this way at the moment. Look, the Court of the Moon, they're not going to come out this far into the astral fleet of. We're
And then
safe.
just stay out here.
Well, I've thinking about it. Thing is, I can handle it. I promise.
Are you being honest with me?
Yeah.
Insight check. Please. Is she lying? Sorry, let me rephrase that. Is she lying?
Go ahead, make an insight check.
Okay, thank you, DM. I appreciate you.
An 18. Seemed like she's being genuine.
Okay. So there's really nothing you want or need me to do. You just wanted to explain everything.
Yeah. I wanted you to know everything because I want you to feel more safe, be more safe. I want you to know that I'm always watching over you. I'm always here. Always around.
It's just that I trust you. I know you're strong and I know everything you're saying and you're capable, but felt so confident that you would always be able to be there when... And now I have people in my life that I can lose. And at the same time, I learned that I could lose you. Or at least it's possible.
I mean, everyone in the universe can be lost.
I know, but I didn't realize you could. Maybe that sounds dumb.
It's not dumb. I understand. I'm gonna be fine. So don't worry about me. You're not gonna lose me anytime soon. Or ever. I mean, technically I will very much be living a lot longer than, well, 10. I'm sorry, that sounds bad, but kind of how it is.
Does it bother me? I know we were severed while we were fighting Ishna, and it went well. I guess you could say that, you know. We're all back.
Honestly, you're so strong. People from multiple different wild space systems are going to be talking about this. Ishna was known. They knew about her. I'm pretty sure the Divine even know about her. I guess what I'm trying to say is just don't let the fame go to your head.
That's so funny, because I was just about to say, would that send them a message to, like, not fuck with us, maybe?
On the Astral, yeah, I don't know about the Prime Material. I don't think anyone's gonna know what that is. I'm here to give you something. I can't
Okay.
stay around for much longer.
I wish you
Gotta
could.
keep moving. I know. I'll always be, and she kind of like taps your head in here.
I know. It's just nice to actually be able to hug you.
Well, one day maybe the Court of the Moon will stop being such assholes.
If you let me, I'll straighten them out. Hey, I said let.
Yeah. Let's table that discussion for a very, very far in the future conversation. Hold out your hand.
Okay.
Can you summon one of your blades?
And she will.
And you see she kind of walks up, and that crest of the moon, that is this horn on her head, starts to glow. Her eyes start to glow this bright white. Her hair starts to wave as she grabs your hand over the blade, and you feel this surge of energy. You watch the blade in its psychic form start to turn from this purple to this light pink. It then starts to turn from this pink to a bright, vibrant white. From that bright, vibrant white, it starts to turn into a dull, glistening blue, almost solid of ice. And lastly, it turns into this blade of darkness. You feel this blessing, as you can now add to your character sheet as a feat, the Blessing of Araleth.
Ooh.
And for those watching, when you hit an attack with your psychic blades, you may choose to change the damage type to either force, radiant, cold, or necrotic. Additionally, when you change the damage type in this way, following effects occur. If you choose Force, the target must make a Constitution saving throw equal to your level plus your proficiency. If the target fails, they are pushed 10 feet away. If pushed in this way, allies and yourself may make attacks of opportunity. Radiant, if when you hit the target glows with radiance. The next attack against them is with advantage. With Cold, they may need to make a saving throw, and if they fail, their speed is halved until the beginning of your next turn. And with Necrotic, the target is not able to gain the effects of healing until the end of your next turn.
That's awesome. How many is it like a charge based thing?
It is equal to the number of your dexterity modifier. For you currently, it is 5.
Cool. That's sick.
So you now have the ability to change the damage type of your psychic blades.
I thought you said I was already strong enough.
Yeah, but I have noticed that you fought some things that, well, your psychic blades aren't very good at.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, I saw you try to stab Ishno with a fire dagger.
Yeah, I also had a carving knife. I didn't whip that one
Yeah.
out though. Didn't think that one was the best idea.
I thought this might help you.
Well, now that Ishna's dead, actually, it's a little too late. But you know, I'll still accept. Fine.
Next time.
Next Ishna. Thanks for coming to see me twice, even
course.
though I know it's against the rules. I mean, thanks for doing everything you do. Yeah.
I'll be around. You're acting like this is like goodbye. Like I'm about to die or something.
No. But I don't know the next time I'll be able to hug you.
Here. And she pulls out, it looks like she's pulling something out of a bag. You watch a small black hole appear as her arm goes through it and pulls out from it looks like a demi-plane, a medium-sized white obelisk-looking crystal. And she hands it to you.
What's this?
A moon crystal. It doesn't really do anything other than... Well, it actually doesn't really do anything. But when you're on the prime material and we're talking, hold this and be like, I'm there.
It'll help. That's for sure. And she'll hug her again.
She'll hug you back. Now, please, just at least wait like a couple weeks before you get into more trouble.
What kind of trouble?
Like Ishna level trouble.
Gotcha. I agree.
When are you guys going through the rifts?
That was next, I think. Gak, is that next?
You know, your guess is as good as mine.
We have like, but there's like steps before. Like we don't know where any are except for the one that we're not ready to. Actually, no. Wait, do we know where 2 are?
I know where a couple are.
Okay. Well, that might be next.
Great.
But we'll give it like a week or 2 because we gotta like travel and prepare, and Rianne's like still kind of half dead, so.
Yeah, he doesn't look good.
I'll tell him that you said that.
Good. Here, Gak. And she reaches into the bag, pulls out a similar crystal. Do you?
Does this one do anything?
No.
That's okay. I just thought it would have been funny if you gave me one that did something, but not Enid. It's just like a little joke.
She walks over. That's actually hilarious. And she touches the crystal, and now it glows with 5 feet of dim light.
She holds her crystal. Cool.
Okay, now I feel bad. She touches Gak's crystal again, and it stops emitting the
No,
light.
it's all
Oh,
right.
you didn't have to take mine away. You could have just also given it to Enid. But now, that's fine.
She touches the crystal again. She walks over to Enid's. Yours, 10 feet of dim light.
I have a crystal.
Listen, Moon, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. You don't have to do stuff just because I say it.
Well, it makes me feel bad.
No, I'm just joking.
No, I know, but the joke actually made me feel bad.
Well, I'm sorry.
I'm just...
See, now your joke
Like
made
that.
me feel bad, so we're even.
You can see that Moon is kind of just like relishing in the moment. And you see she starts to like play with and start scratching one of her hands. I gotta go.
Okay. All right. I mean, if you gotta, you know, I'm like you said, up here, so it's not like you're gone. Yeah.
She walks over and gives you one more hug.
Mhm.
I'm always around.
I know.
And with that, her body and form starts to turn into bright light. But then as it, almost as bright as the sun, as eventually it just fades out.
Like Enid will, assuming that she and Gak are like really close, just kind of like lean her head on his, well, probably wouldn't reach his shoulder, probably like his forearm, and just say, it's like if how you speak to your family now in sending was all you ever knew.
Yeah. Well, if it helps you feel any better, I think that it's really cool you got to meet Moon at all.
It is. I didn't think it was possible.
Yeah, I mean, recently didn't even know that Moon was a like a person, and not just a voice or the actual Moon.
Yeah. And before that, I thought I was just crazy.
Right, so I kind of feel like, you know, thinking about it that way, it's probably just going to keep getting more and more cool, so we'll probably see Moon again.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we're gonna go do some more incredible crazy things, so...
Yeah, and when we do the rift stuff, we'll be back in space, basically, so...
Right, so, like, I don't know what I'm worried about. It'll be fine, you know?
Yeah, well, you don't have to be worried, but it's okay to be sad.
Yeah. I am.
But hey, we got these.
And Gak will take his crystal and he'll like tap the crystals.
I got these little things.
Thanks for being here, and I don't know, I feel like, besides Rian, I guess, because Rian did get to meet Moon first, you know her second best to me, so...
Well, thank you for sharing Moon.
Of course. That's all I got.
Okay.
Like,
All right, let's see if we can get out of here. I want to go and I want to be in my
fly
room.
the ship, yeah.
Yeah.
While Gideon's out on the deck. Like, that'll go well.
And I think Gak will like kind of look around and try to find everybody and just ask everybody individually, like,
Are we okay to go home? Or to Stolari? Or Gideon needs to go somewhere before then, but like, can we leave?
I'd like to leave, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just have a minute, Gag?
Yeah.
Jump into Gideon if that's okay with everyone.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So, taking some time to himself, Gideon just kind of out on the deck, looking out at where Ishna was, and seeing the souls all leave. He just kind of stands there and watch for a moment. And, John, I remember I worked on the Pink Lady, but, like, you can't breathe in space. So, like, can we kind of see, like, the air bubble, or kind of like the force field around the nautiloid? Like, Gideon can see that?
Yeah.
Okay. I think approaching the edge of the ship, and like, does it extend out, or is it like right, like if he stepped off, he's out of the bubble?
It encapsulates the entirety of any place you can walk on the ship.
Okay, perfect. So I think he would just like walk over to the edge, and looking out towards the astral sea, he'd reach into his bag, and he'd pull out a little vial of dust that Basil gave him of himself, and he would kind of like pop the cork off, and he would stick his hand through the force field and just very quickly kind of twist his hand and kind of scatter the dust out into the astral sea. And as he's just kind of looking out, I don't know if you can hear me or not, but now there's at least a part of me that's still here. I have to go. There's more I wish I could do, there's more that I wish that I could learn, but I have another home and people who help take care of me. I saved you. Now I have to save them. I know that this story isn't over, and I'm looking forward to the day when I can tell you the whole thing. But right now I have to go. I just hope you understand. I'll be back. I promise.
Gideon,
And
make an Arcana.
18.
As you say these words, you feel that presence again that you felt at the helm. Standing 20 feet in front of you. Someone that you've only seen in dreams, heard of in stories. You see the visage of your mother.
I am so very proud of who you have become.
It took a while to get here, but I'm glad I'm here.
My kiddo, my bright son. We will always be here.
Thank you for giving me a chance.
You see she walks closer to you, just kind of stares at you and looking at you with a smile. You see her hand slightly reach up and stop right before your cheek, as almost asking for permission.
He would just nod.
As her hand touches you, you feel the warmth.
And I think he just kind of closed his eyes and just feel it. A mother's embrace that he had never felt before.
As that happens, you feel you are almost shunted through memories that were locked away. Things that you don't remember what happened. You see your mother and father, your mother holding you, rocking you to sleep. Another dream shows you learning how to crawl. Another dream shows your father and your mother laughing as you start to make spit bubbles in a large, ornate room. Another dream shows how happy your parents were and how much you were loved. All of these memories flood into your mind. As you open your eyes, your mother's standing there.
We are so proud of you. Gideon.
We'll be together again.
We will.
As she hugs you and starts to disappear into fairy fire. But as she does, you can feel this transfer of power. You also start to feel and relive dreams of the spirits around you. Memories. All of them positive. All of these dreams show the city of crystals, the Rock of Brawl, all of these astral elves living great and prosperous lives. You start to feel the emotion, see their pasts. And as that happens, it's almost like a shedding of skin in a way, as this power develops you. Now are no longer known as a lunar sorcerer, but a dream sorcerer.
I've been so excited about this.
As the feeling fades, an odd feeling. It's a feeling of positivity and grace, but there's some form of Ishna tied into this. You know from the stories she told, whether they be true or not, whether you choose to believe them, that she had a hand in helping to bring you into this world. And now that she is gone, the suppression of your memories and your powers is no longer there. Now you are your true self.
I think Gideon would just stay out there for a few minutes longer, just kind of looking out at everything. And just kind of a small smile on his face as he turns and heads back to where everyone is. I think it's time we get moving.
I couldn't agree more.
If Gak is still steering the ship, can I be like sub-captain or co-pilot or whatever that's called?
First officer?
Yep, that's me. Because Gak and I work as pairs, you know, whenever we take someone's job.
You guys still have your badges.
Yeah.
When you take someone's job.
Now
If
we're
we
the ship
still have-
wardens.
Wait, we need like hat.
Yeah, we're the
Guys
ship
in the-
wardens.
Yeah.
Don't want the best, call the rest.
Find some Astral Captain hats somewhere.
Yes.
That'd be pretty sick. There's got to be some in Stellaris. We'll get them.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure. You just get a pirate outfit, but it's like futuristic sci-fi pirate outfit. Like
Don't
Treasure Planet.
tease me.
They can
Well,
happen.
let's do it.
I will say, Gideon, before Basil or after Basil talks to him, he would have wanted to go to the Crystal City anyway. So can he just give Gak the coordinates and make sure he's got us on a good path since he's driving?
So
Sure.
where is the party headed?
We need to refuel. If Gideon wanted to make that stop, we can do
So, I've had this question asked to me. I think me and Ryan talked about this. The ship has enough charges of the teleport to go to 2 places, and it's kind of so the way it works is where you guys are at on the map. The Rock of Brawl is, let's just say, up. Stellaris is down. To get back to the Prime Material, you would have to go to Stellaris and refuel if you wanted to have more fuel. Or you could just port to Stellaris and then teleport directly to the Prime Material. You would be out of fuel. If you go to the Rock of Brawl and go back to Stellaris, then you will be out of fuel. You don't have to refuel. So
Okay.
basically, Stellaris, the central, is the middle point. Prime Material down here, Rock of Brawl up here. You guys are like over here, so you can either go up and down or down and down.
Sounds like we're gonna. Gideon wants to go to the rock.
Hey,
Right.
we're on a trip.
Mhm.
Let's see the sights.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was gonna say, do we want to immediately warp there? Because I mean, Ryan knows this, but like Basil got told that like it's dangerous because like Gith are there, and Rian's kind of in less than great shape. No offense, Joe. So like, do we want to kind of take it easy and let him try and rest up rather than just immediately warping there?
Yes.
Well,
Maybe.
so do we have
Gak's like,
Is this Gak or Nick talking?
it was Nick, but then I was doing Gak's voice, and I was like, well, Gak's confused too.
So
Do we have to teleport both ways, or can we do we have, like, are we teleporting twice if we were to go to Brawl and then Stellaris, or do we have to fly to one of them and teleport to the other?
So the Rock of Brawl, the only reason you can kind of get there is because of the teleport. The Rock of Brawl is, I mean, to put it in our terms, is probably like 2 or 3 light years away from where you currently are.
I mean, what if we just shut off the ship for the night and then we go in the morning? You know, sleep in the van kind of thing on a long car trip.
Well, because Rand's speed's literally 0 right now, so I think we should at least get
Yeah.
one long rest in, and then if we want to go, that's fine. I
will say this. I will give you the options or the scenario in front of you. You can start flying towards the Rock of Brawl. And in that time, obviously it's way far away. You would have multiple nights long rest if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Right now, because right now you are outside of where Ishna was, which was very close to the far realm.
Right. So we're really far away. Yeah. Okay.
Let's do that, Dan.
Yep.
Yeah,
have a night
I-
of just floating.
I think we all could use a night of just floating.
yeah.
Me too. Felicity could.
We all
yeah.
float on.
Float me
We all
to
float here.
Rock of Brawl.
Thanks, Modest Mouse and Frank Sinatra.
And Stephen King.
Pearl Jam.
Well, I was
Are we just
quoting
naming
Felicity.
Yeah, I quoted Stephen King.
Well, we
You
all
can
float
name
on was
artists.
Pearl Jam, wasn't it?
Thanks, Van Gogh.
Not important.
I don't think it was Pearl Jam.
It was Modest Mouse.
I
There
don't
we
know.
go.
Anyway, so we're floating.
Not important.
Yay!
So as you all start to fly in the direction of the Rock of Brawl, I mean, at this point, you know, I'll talk to one another and have conversations as you float through space. The current spot in space you are, there is no color. It is darkness around you. You
Far
don't see
realm,
any.
fair enough.
Yeah, you don't see any light, any signs of life. But during this time, we'll for the sake of brevity, we will be skipping days. So you'll have long rest, but during this time, you guys can talk with one another. There's no sun to tell you if it's night or day. So
Right.
it's just whenever you want to talk to each other and go to sleep, that's when you do it.
Cool.
I got a thing, but I also just had a thing, so if anyone else wants to go, that's totally fine.
You can go.
You can go.
Alright, Gideon's gonna go find where Rian's resting up,
Yeah.
which is where.
Yeah, Rian was going to talk to Gideon anyway, so we'll just say that Rian is here.
Hang on, I'm almost there.
Okay.
Alright, there he is.
Yum.
I mean, like... So is he just, like, laying down? Like, what's he doing to rest during these, like, 5 days?
No, I think for the most part he's trying to stay active. He doesn't want to, you know, turn into a lump of jelly. So I think that,
The
you know,
dream.
yeah, I think that he's just trying to stay up and active, probably using Hikari for physical therapy, you know, just as like, so that way he doesn't have to be babysat the entire time. He's just kind of working on his own. But I'd say right now he's maybe, I mean, if this is the second or third day, he's just trying to get back to practicing the sword forms. So that way he stays sharp in case we do encounter any Githyanki warlords.
Hmm. How's the swing coming?
A little slower than I'd like, but it'll get there eventually.
I have no doubt about that. How are you feeling?
Well, a feeling that I am sure that you are very familiar with. Sluggish, a little slow, sometimes a little confused, but all in all, much better than I was yesterday.
Sleep is the best remedy for that, but perhaps your body heals differently than I do.
Yes, I don't know. I maybe it's my age joints, but typically just sitting around only makes them hurt more.
You know, you're really not that old.
You know, sometimes I like to think that, but then every once in a while, Gak says something, and but it's okay.
Just saying, even by human standards, you're not that old.
I know, but I feel so old most of the time. But then again, I guess I go through a bit more stress on a day-to-day than, say, a farmer in Hombefort.
I hope so. And before it seemed nice enough.
So,
Can I ask you a personal question?
yes, you may.
And Gideon would find something to either lean on or to take a seat as he kind of looks over to Rianne. After the fire,
You see him tense up a little bit.
you had lost family, friends, and correct me on the timeline, but by then your original home was gone as well.
Mm-hmm.
Other than just a need to survive, why did you keep going on? Why did you fight? What was it for?
For the longest time, I didn't know. In fact, it's not funny, but for the longest time, I tried to die. I would drink myself into a stupor day in and day out, till I couldn't see straight. I would go to the worst parts of town. I would pick fights with people that were bigger, stronger than me. I would get beat within an inch of my life, and I'd wake up the next morning. I'd get another drink. I'd do it again. I wanted to be put out of my misery. It never happened. And of course now I'm thankful for it, but when I think back on those years, it's such a dark time in my life. Why was I spared? I don't know. Is the world we live in some chaotic mass of turmoil and magic, or do each one of us truly have a part to play? Was that my destiny? I mean, what cruel god, entity, would do that to me, to Enid? I guess at a certain point I kept going because I had to die eventually, right? And I suppose I was right, all things considered, but I'm very thankful now to be here and to be breathing. I think a better way for me to think about it is the reason I was that way is because I didn't have purpose. I was aimless. The only thing I wanted was relief. My life felt meaningless until I found purpose. when I eventually made my way to Hombaford and Lunaria, and I helped them break free of the Valamine Empire and Vandren, keeping them captive, siphoning their magic. When I opened my heart to all of you, in that moment I found purpose. I spent 15 years wandering, aimless. Then I met a druid who loved tea and painting. I met a wizard who had the most colorful expressions. I met the most toughest nails cleric I've ever met. And then I met this young and aspiring adventurer. When I met those people, that's when I knew. I knew in that moment why I needed to continue forward. I knew what my purpose was. To be there for them. To help them grow. So that way they could be the people they were always meant to be. And judging by the looks of that aspiring adventurer, I like to think I did a pretty good job.
You certainly had patience.
Yeah. Yeah, you... As a parent, you have to learn patience. Otherwise, the whole thing is miserable.
Looking back, you must have been so frustrated with me that first month we met.
Oh. Frustrated? I don't know if that's the word I'd use, but... No, I don't know. I never held anything against you. One of the things I relearned in Lunaria was empathy. How could I hold a grudge against you? Truly. You did everything that you thought was right.
But I was wrong. Sometimes.
Sometimes. You were right a good amount of the time. Don't give yourself too little credit. You're a smart man, Gideon.
I met with Lot.
Yeah.
I don't think I really understood it until earlier today. I think you said it well. I think when you're empty, it's a lot easier to fill yourself with hate than with anything else. When you held Ishna down for me, and in that moment she was at my mercy, I started going through everything that I'm capable of. I thought of burning her, crushing her, just shocking her, perhaps ripping her apart with a dragon. And every single idea that came to me just felt wrong. Not because she didn't deserve it, but in that moment I realized I didn't want to be anything like her. So I killed her with the most painless option that I had. With Lot, I think you did see the potential for what he could have been. But I think you knew better than I did about the kind of people in this world who enjoy taking what's not theirs. Especially when it comes to life. I'm sorry. I didn't see it back then.
You don't need to apologize. So many of us are set up to fail in our own lives. The deck is stacked against us from the moment we enter this world. But sometimes all it takes is a kind hand and a push in the right direction, and you get set on the path you always needed to be on. You just needed the right people there, so I'm glad. I'm very happy that I could be that person for you. And I'm going to be very honest. In regards to Ishna, I did something that was selfish of me. I know that might sound strange, but the reason I wanted you to confront that nightmare and destroy it is so it would have no hold over you anymore. I wanted you to finally be free of it. Because Gideon, I know when we go back to Siri, nightmares that I thought were dead and buried are going to creep back up. And I'll need you. I needed you as an example. If you can destroy your nightmares, then so can I.
You will have me there. You know that.
Good. And he'll kind of look at Gideon, and he will smile, and I think he would hug Gideon.
He doesn't stop you.
Okay. And Rian hugs. He doesn't linger for too long, just a couple of claps on the back, and then pulls back and says,
What?
"You have come such a long way, and I'm very proud of you."
Thank you, Rian.
You're welcome.
I will let you get back to it. I don't want to be nearby in case you swing and accidentally let go of your sword, and he'll just stand up.
Well, I don't think my grip is that loose, but yes, you should probably evacuate just in case something does happen.
Gideon will head out.
Okay. during this travel. It'll be about day 3, we'll say, so everyone can hit the long rest button.
My favorite button.
Is there other conversations? Anything else anybody wants to talk about? This is your time to converse.
Yeah. And I'm so sorry. Basil wants to talk to both Enid and Gideon, so I apologize to everybody.
No need to apologize.
So she's gonna first seek out Gideon. Is he still at the helm? Or
I think he sees a Gax having a fun time driving, so I think he'll
Cool.
just go do something else. He's probably out on like the deck or something,
okay,
just
she
like out there
will.
like writing or reading or something.
Yeah. She's going to search the ship until she finds you. She'll have, because she was boiling some tea, she would have put together a couple of mugs for Gideon and herself, and she'll come up to wherever he is and just silently hands the mug over to him.
He would take it and just kind of give a nod. Care to sit?
Yeah. I would ask you how you're feeling, but I'm sure everybody else has been asking that, so I'm not going to. Instead,
I'm fine, but okay.
I'm going to tell you that you did a great job.
We did, but thank you.
Sure, but this battle we fought was so personal to you, and it was more than just actual fighting. It was your life, your past, your future. And you came out on top. So, I'm proud of you. You should be proud of yourself.
I am. Truth. In a strange way, I'm grateful it happened. When we went after your father, and forgive me because this will sound heartless, but in a way I was envious. Not because of what happened to you, but the fact that you were able to and had the strength to confront your tormentor. And you took back perhaps not everything he had taken from you, but you won in the end. When I was younger and I was taken, I didn't have the opportunity to face the man that experimented on me. It always weighed on me, and I think I sought control in other ways. Being able to slay Ishna, I think it's helped more than even I realized. If that makes sense.
It does. And I can understand your anger at not being able to. I know a lot of people don't like to be vengeful, but I'm sorry you didn't get your revenge. I think sometimes it is warranted. Whether that, I mean, I'm a holy person, but like, even I don't always want to take the high ground. You know, I like a good ass kicking, and I think that was well deserved for both Ishna and the people who experimented on you. And I wish both could have happened, but at least we were able to get closure on one of them.
Indeed.
Oddly enough, I never wanted to kill my father. It wasn't something that I necessarily dreamed of or sought out. Honestly, he left my mind a long time ago, once I found my own home, started my garden, made friends with Morita. Even when I started hanging out with you all. And it wasn't until we were talking about going to Ilden that he crossed my mind for the first time in a long time. And all of that anger came back again. And I wanted nothing more than to destroy him and my sister and my mother. One of the three happened. I would say the most dangerous one was a good thing, and I got my sister back and my mom, but like, who cares about her, right? I led a good life. It was hard at first after I left, but I led a good life. And even though those horrible things happened to me, I didn't want it to weigh myself down, because at the end of the day, it happened. And there was nothing I could have done to stop it. There's nothing that I can do to change it. I can't go back in time. I technically got rid of the problem, but he wasn't necessarily a problem that I had to deal with. Circumstances made it that way. But it's okay to choose to not, or not even be able to, get back at the people who hurt us. It doesn't mean that you're less strong or less brave. Honestly, sometimes I think that people who choose not to, or even if they don't have the opportunity and don't dwell on it, I think that they are some of the most strong and brave people ever. So I think the fact that you're still here and fighting still for your life and your happy ending, whatever it may be, I think that is one of the best things I've seen since we've all started with each other.
Are you still angry?
I am. But it's not an anger that makes me want to do something. It's a sad kind of anger, an anger that has turned into more of a mourning of the childhood that I wanted and couldn't
could have had, but I didn't. It's a mourning of not having the kind of family or parents that I wish I had. There's nothing I can do to change it. So sometimes you can open up that little box and look at all of the things that you could have had or wanted, and you can cry and you can mourn over them. And then you close the lid and you put the box back under your bed for safekeeping. And you continue on, and every once in a while you can pull it back out and let yourself to feel. Because it's okay to feel. It's okay to be angry and sad. But it's also okay to slide that box under your bed until it gets dusty. Because where you go from here is what's important. All of that shapes you into who you are now. And that's what you need to focus on. And I think that you're well on your way to having such a great future. The sharpest swords have to go through a little bit of fire and beating.
This is true. Thank you, Basil.
Of course.
I got to speak to my mom.
You did? What's she like? How is she?
Perfect.
Do you think you take after her?
Clearly not.
Maybe not in looks, but it can be the way they smile, the way their face lights up.
I don't know. It won't be the last conversation I have.
Yeah,
I have time to figure it out.
of course you do. We'll see her again. But Gideon, there is something I need to tell you. I met your father.
Like just
like,
now?
Really random, I know. I went to the lower deck and I may or may not have been crying. That's not the point of this story. But your father may or may not have asked me how I was doing. And I didn't know it was him at first. I thought he was just a random kind soul. And he introduced himself. And he said he knew someone who was currently in our party. And he said, Kidan. And he gave me words of wisdom. Very nice fatherly way. About how it seems like things didn't work out, but that doesn't mean you're a failure. And that, we're all stronger than we think we are. But he did tell me to relay a message to you. You actually have a family member who's still alive, Gideon. It's your uncle. You're on your father's side. And if you choose to go searching for him, you'll find him, still living at his home. His name is
Astra Ayun.
His name is Astra Ayun. I think he said that he's living in the Crystal City. But currently the Githyanki has taken over it, and it's not a great city anymore. It's almost completely destroyed. But your uncle is out there if you would like to find him.
Right when I think it's all over.
I know. And whatever decision you choose, we will support you 100%. It's okay if you need time. We will always have this spaceship. We can come visit your uncle whenever. If you need some time. Or if you want to say, nope, let's go visit him now. We can do that too.
He deserves to know
Yeah.
that they're okay. That I'm okay.
Yeah.
Can you just stay with me out here?
And she's gonna, if he's only holding his mug with one hand, she'll probably hold his other hand and just stand there holding hands while they drink their little tea.
Yeah. And scene.
And scene.
So, another day passes. I know that Basil went with Enid.
Yeah, man.
Or before we get to that, is there anybody who wants to talk to anybody else?
No, but I would say during this time, doesn't have to be anything. Yurso would be like, we're gonna have a celebration of life every night. And it's just every night on the way, she's going to druidcraft as many flowers as possible, make it smell very floral and fun. We can't bring sunlight to the ship because we're in space. Well, actually, anyway. Yeah.
Sunbeam.
Yeah, well, I have that now, but I don't
I
want to
know.
blow up our ship. So yeah, so Yursa, like I said, every night's gonna be a celebration of life where, can we make cookies on this boat? Let's pretend. We're making cookies, and we're having a good time, and she's constantly, like, just trying to cheer Gideon up as much as possible, and Rian up as much as possible. Everybody, because everybody's sad boy hours right now. So yeah, that's just what Yursa would be doing during this time, is just trying to remind everybody about how important living is right now and how important having each other is. Is it?
During the days where you are doing this, I will say, if the days that you do this, there is a trail of flowers behind the nautiloid as it's flying through space.
That's so cute. I love that.
I
Just
love.
kind of float in stasis. These
Good.
flowers leaving like this breadcrumb trail behind the nautiloid. During this time as well, you don't see them because of the darkness around you, but you do hear Kindori,
Yes.
the
the
space whales
whales.
in the distance.
Oh,
And you
beautiful.
also hear different sounds of different other life, smaller creatures that, if you were to gain a glimpse of them, a lot of them resemble the sea life that you would see on the Prime Material, like whales and sharks, and there's even small little creatures that almost look like turtles
Oh my
and
God.
seals that fly through, but it's hard to see them. You
For
can tell
sure.
these creatures don't need to see to know where they're going.
Does anyone remember Lisa Frank?
Yes.
I'm imagining that
Yeah,
very
this is
colorful kind of
Yeah,
Lisa
the
Frank
Nautiloid
style.
is a Lisa Frank painting
Yes.
right now. It's a Lisa
I
Frank
Beautiful.
T-shirt.
all of
Yeah.
her shit.
Yeah, Jacqueline owns a couple of those.
I owned all her folders. I thought it was
Yes,
so
I
cool.
had the notebooks.
On the
My
side
favorite
of
was
the
a
shell, on the side of the shell is a Lisa Frank drawn unicorn. You know, it's
The fuzzy kind where you can draw in between with your own markers.
yeah.
Yes.
Your nautiloid is the most beautiful nautiloid in the entire Astral Sea. It
Hell
is
yeah.
not even
As
a
it
comparison.
should be.
Good.
I will say with that, doing that, everyone gains an inspiration.
Aww.
Like what kind of inspiration? DM?
DM
or...
inspiration.
Oh, cool.
You're so kind.
Boop.
Boop. I love the little icon for inspiration.
I know,
the
it's
little
so cute.
sunrise.
So with that, on one of these days where there is a celebration of life, Basil, be Enid.
Okay. Where is Enid?
I think Enid. Well, if you want the conversation to be alone, we'll make it a place where other people aren't. Should probably be. I don't know if we brought any alcohol on the ship, but if we did, she has it, and I think she's probably braiding flowers into a flower crown.
That is so
That's
cute.
what she's doing, drinking
Just-
and braiding flowers.
Really quickly, I would like everyone to place their token where they would.
Oh, okay. You know what? Yeah. Where the hell
Is
even
Gideon still on the
Yeah, who's
top deck?
where?
No?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, if Basil and Enid want to go to the top deck, then
Sure.
never mind. Gak is going.
Guys,
Yeah, hang, you know?
Look at him.
Where is my token?
You're
There
over
it
here,
is.
honeybee. There you go.
Where did he?
Yeah.
Oh, he went all the way up here. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
that's
come
not
up
the
here,
top
Rian.
deck.
Let's go party up here with Gideon.
I guess we could go up here. That's
Okay.
the top deck.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
someone's got to be on the helm, you know?
I love us flying through this.
The flying curiosity.
Hey, Gideon, how do you steer
Basil.
this thing?
With your brain.
The tentacles.
No, those are there now. Those weren't there before, but now that we played Baldur's Gate, those are there now because it's canonical and canon.
All right.
So you do have to put 2 tentacles and bowstring it to teleport.
That's crazy.
There you go.
Oh, crazy. So yeah, if Enid's already up there, Basil would have gone searching for her, and just kind of not awkwardly, but softly walk up. Hello. Are you up for company right now? I'm sure you've talked to a lot of people.
I haven't, but company's welcome. Here, and she'll hand her the glass that she had been having of whatever space alcohol we have.
Space
And it
alcohol.
tastes like ass, just so you know.
Well, at least it's something. So she'll take a sip, hand it back to Enid.
That's exactly why I have it. I think it's safe, but
You know,
Alcohol
I don't care at this point.
exactly.
How are you doing?
I mean, probably about as good as everybody.
Right.
How about you?
Could be better. Not the best day I've ever had.
Can't imagine it's gonna go uphill from here.
Probably not. No. However, the day in general may not be good, but there could be good moments in the day.
Yeah, I agree.
Like this, and she's gonna slowly reach out and rest her hand on top of Enid's hand.
And she'll like kind of turn her hand to hold Basil's. You did good today, or whatever day that was. You did good.
Thank you. I was scared that you were going to be hurt the whole time. And I was worried that I wouldn't be able to be there to help you.
We feel the same way. It's hard getting to know everybody and do the most dangerous missions I've ever been on with you guys.
Yeah.
And know that one of these days could be the last with any one of you. I keep wanting to say that you guys are crazy, but I'm a part of this now, and I know it's that we're crazy. But also that we need to do this. Right?
Kind of fell upon us a little bit, but it's now at a point where I'd feel wrong if I had just left.
Me too. Which is also very strange for me. I run away. I don't stick around. So this is a lot of new territory for me as she kind of like looks into Basil's eyes. Like everything is new.
Basil trying to lighten the mood just a little bit. Not gonna go running away on me, are you?
Moon talked me out of that about like 3 months ago.
Sounds like Moon is in favor of our friendship.
I mean, she hasn't said anything against it. She definitely pushed me to stay with all of you in general. I did try to leave. Like, I wasn't kidding.
I know. I understand. And as much as it would pain me, I would understand if I woke up one day and you were gone.
I'm not going anywhere. I don't want to go anywhere, which again is new.
I'll be honest, I prefer you here by my side, where I can keep you safe.
You need to keep yourself safe too.
Yeah.
You can't save everybody, Basil.
I can try.
And that's beautiful. And I know you know how to stick up for yourself and take care of yourself. And I know you want to help everybody, but don't forget to have your own back. I know you know how.
Sometimes.
Well, you show it very frequently.
Good, because a lot of it is also lying. You
Hey,
have to...
lying gets you... If it gets you where you need to be, lie away.
I mean, as long as people believe it's true, then...
Then it's true. Reality's just what we see and perceive, right?
Right. If you don't scare some people, I mean, what's the point?
Yeah, and it's fun too, so why not?
Right. Especially if they're mean, just be mean back to them. I was thinking though. I know we haven't really had a chance to talk. There's been a lot of stuff going on lately. I know you know the whole thing that's going on with my mother. And while I'm still not sure where that's going to go, if it could go anywhere, or if it can, where do I want it to go? I may or may not ever have a chance to live with her. It could just be a pipe dream at this time. Very wishful thinking. We have a lot of barriers that could stop it. Some of the biggest barriers that you could even think of. Just us two against all the other gods. I mean, who knows what could happen. So I've also been trying to think of another kind of life that I could lead. I don't have to just live my life going here, there, with hopes of a future that may never happen. But if there is a future that is more plausible than another, one that I could be equally as happy to have happen, I would also like to explore that option. It's okay to have dreams, but it's okay to also change your mind when an equally good option is presented. Or even a better one.
Basil, we're a group of people that have traveled the Astral Sea. We're about to go through rifts. Dreams are real. I don't think your ask is outside of the realm of what we can do. I mean, even the fact that you and your mother, who is a god, speak on a regular basis. I think it's closer than you think. Just because it's hard doesn't mean it's impossible. And you're on the right track.
But what if another dream started making its way above the one that everybody thinks I should have?
And I think in that moment, Enid's going to like slip her hand out of Basil's hand. It shouldn't be what other people think you want. It should be what you want.
And if it is something that I want?
Then good. But you should know. I also think there's a lot to consider.
There is. But there's no harm in exploring.
No, there's no harm in that. At all. I just know how much. I mean, ever since I have gotten to know you, your mother has been everything. So it's just surprising to hear you not be so sure about that anymore.
I think she's been the focal point of my life for so long, ever since I found out. And people have come in and out of my life for a long time. And the people who have stayed, and she looks back up to Enid. People have newly joined our party, have started taking up crazy amount of space in my mind. And dreams can shift and change, but they can be just as good as the original. Different, but just as good. I can't make anyone do anything. But if someone is okay with trying, and you can tell, I mean, I'm assuming Enid is catching what Basil's dropping.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
She's not like, what is going
What
on
is
here?
this? I think if people are willing to try to understand this new dream and to explore it and see what happens, then that would make me beyond happy. I'm trying to find a happy ending. And I know that there is one. And I know that when the time comes, I won't have to choose, because everything will fall into place, and I'll know which one is the real ending that I'm meant to have. And she's gonna slowly reach for Enid's hand again, but go slow enough to where if Enid wants to pull her hand away, she can.
It's not that Enid's gonna pull away. She was just gonna reach out to Basil in a different way. After Basil's done saying that, she's going to get closer to Basil and kind of tuck her hair behind her ear and say, "You're right. It's okay if dreams change. But I think you need a little bit more time to get to know me. You don't know everything. I don't know everything.
I don't expect you to.
I just mean, don't give up on a dream with the hopes of another that you're not even sure what it is. It's okay to explore. We can see. But..." And she's gonna kind of turn away. There's a lot we need to do as a party for ourselves.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. It does. I just want you to know all dreams can and cannot happen. It's okay to have more than one. It's okay to explore all of them at the same time. I just know that Anything could happen at any moment. And I don't want to spend my afterlife regretting things that I should have done. I want to be sure about everything I go into, and if I'm not sure, I want to find out until I am. I want to be happy for this time that I'm on this world. And that's just what I want for everybody, not just me.
I want
And
that for you too. And I don't think you'll regret anything. You're not that kind of person.
I won't
I
regret
envy the way
anything.
you live life.
Don't. It's taken a lot of heartache to get here. And I will continue to have it until I grow old. But what is life without its bad things that make the good things even that much more special? Helps you realize what's important.
Maybe.
I never want to pressure anyone to do or be something that they don't want to do or want to be. And she's gonna reach over and like lightly caress Enid's head. And then she's gonna stand up and move like a foot away. I will always be here. If you want to talk, or if you don't want to talk, I'll still be here. I'll be here if you want to explore, but I will understand and still be here if you don't want to. But I want to try to live my life of importance and not let the things that I've done hold me back from a happy ending, because we all deserve one. We're all good people, and good people make bad decisions. But that shouldn't stop us from wanting to have good times and love with everything that's going on. I think that makes the time the most opportune to find something that you can enjoy, because at any moment this life could stop. It can be taken away at any moment, so you might as well fill up with as much as you can before that happens. But it's okay. She looks up at Enid. It's okay. I just want you to be happy. And if it's a different path, then I will still help you find that happy ending. She's gonna give a little smile and kind of wrap her arms around herself a little, and then she's gonna walk away.
And I think Enid, after she walks away, is gonna like, I assume there's like a railing on the upper deck, so she's just gonna like sit down and like dangle her legs over the railing and like rest her forehead on the top rail and just kind of like do one of those things and be there for a minute.
Okay. So with that, is there anything else anybody wants to do before all of you are fully rested? 5 days before you teleport to the Rock of Brawl.
I think we're good.
Let's rock on.
Oh, got him.
Okay.
Thank you.
There is one thing that does happen before you teleport to the rock. Gak. On one of these nights, you feel, as you are sleeping, this external presence, this almost movement next to you, and you wake up. You were vivid dreaming at the time. You have started to, during these 5 days, or lucid dreaming, sorry, during these 5 days, figuring out how to actually manipulate your own dreams, which allows you to wake up in this moment. You see the book slightly glowing, vibrating.
I think Gak is he's able to move and everything.
Yeah.
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 Because he's actually woken up. He's not dreaming anymore, or supposedly. So, I think Gak's gonna slowly reach over, and he's just gonna touch the book first, very lightly, almost as if it's like a person that he's like trying to console or make sure they're okay while they're asleep.
Okay. As you touch the book, there's something that happens. What you see before you as you wake up is darkness. Nothing around you, but you know you can move forwards, backwards, left, or right. Which direction do you choose?
Do I feel anything from a particular direction? Like, do I feel like there's a reason to go any direction, or that it's just all
Make a
random?
wisdom check.
Six.
Normally you are very perceptive of the things around you, but there is nothing around you. So it is hard to perceive what is not there.
I think Gak is going to go forward.
Okay. As you go forward, you feel this sense rush over you as you start to see things come into focus. Walking forward, it is like graphics on a screen rendering as you walk forward. You see ruins of a great hall. Columns toppled and destroyed. You see a hole in the ceiling. It doesn't take you very long to recognize this place, the last place that you had talked to, the one trapped within the book. What do you do?
Currently it's just me there.
Mm-hmm.
I think instead of like calling out to see if anyone's there or anything like that, I think Gak might investigate the room. And he's just kind of thinking to himself like, well, this is a chance I get to try to learn something about this place.
Okay. Go ahead and make a investigation check.
This will be great. Gak's really good at investigation. Yeah. 5 minus 2. 3.
There is rock and ruin around you. It is easy to ascertain that, but everything is destroyed. The murals on the walls decimated. The floor itself that looked to once be marble is now sundered and destroyed. There's nothing, no other information you gather other than you know where you are because of information you've gathered over your travels and your adventure, and that this place is definitely in the time period of after the attack of the Demogorgon.
Gak's just kind of standing there after looking around. And then he's going to say to himself, but he's going to say it out loud. He's like,
There's gotta be a reason that this book was glowing.
There is with your passive perception, a sound of footprints or footsteps behind you.
yeah, Gak's going to turn around to try to see what's there.
You see standing before you Izarin.
Does he look as bad as he did the last time?
He looks worse for wear, but it doesn't look like much worse than what you saw last time. As he looks towards you, his eyes glowing in the darkness around. There is no candlelight, torchlight around here. You can see the scars actually glowing at this point as he looks to you and says,
Where are you?
Like in when I'm awake, like where I actually am.
Yes.
Currently in the Astral Sea.
Why are you in the Astral Sea?
I don't know if you know this person, but there is someone named Ishna that was trying to kill my friend. And, we stopped her before she could kill him.
you see he's looking around and he kind of starts pacing back and forth.
You're headed back now, though, right?
I believe so. Yes. I think we're making a stop because we have to fuel up this ship.
Stopping where?
And then Gak knows that we're going to the Rock of Brawl before Stellaris, right?
We're stopping at the Rock of Brawl, and then we're going to Stellaris, and then we're going back to the primordial plane.
And how long will this be?
We can teleport, so I don't think it would be that long, actually. One of my friends in the fight with Ishna died and then was brought back to life by my cleric friend, but he was not doing well, and we knew we couldn't really travel with him when he was like that, so he's rested. He should be good by tomorrow, so I think tomorrow we're gonna whip on through.
There's no time for this, Gak. The rifts are opening. The tethers that connect the planes are breaking. You should be here.
I'm sorry. We're trying.
Gak, make an insight check.
Come on. This is pretty crazy. 6.
Use your inspiration you just got.
That's true. We have DM inspiration.
Are you gonna
I'll
use
do
it?
that. Yeah.
Okay.
If this is another low roll. Okay. Unnatural 20.
Okay. You can see that as you are giving him all of this information, he is pacing more rapidly. He is becoming a little bit more irritated, a way that you haven't seen him. As you see him kind of place his hands onto his head, pacing around and muttering to himself, he kind of stops the conversation with you and just starts muttering to himself. What are you gonna do?
Is there a specific rift that we need to go to? I know we need to go. I know you've given me the location of where to put the book, but there's a lot of rifts that are opening up, and when we were all taking care of stuff, I went around and tried to learn information on where they are, so get to them easier and all that stuff. Is there some place that is most urgent that we need to go?
You, as you're talking, see a kind of snap. As you're talking, he says,
Yeah, too much time. You need to be here now! Things are getting bad, Gak. You need to get to Siri and place my book in my tower. Gain that information and figure out what to do next.
Okay.
Do you understand? What is at stake?
Everything?
Yes. Everything. I have held Demogorgonov for as long as I can. I fear I might not be able to soon. Please, Gak. Please.
Okay.
with that, you feel almost in reverse. As Zarin disappears, you turn around and start walking backwards, unable to control yourself. The ruins disappear, darkness envelops you once again, and you fall out of the book onto the ground as the book clasps to the ground and shuts. You're back in the Nautiloid.
Okay. I don't know where I'd be sleeping. I guess in the bottom is where everyone is, but Gak's gonna run up to the command deck. I don't know if someone would be at the helm or if we're currently just free floating or whatever's happening.
It's up to the party. Who's at the helm?
Autopilot.
I mean,
Here's the
I
thing.
think Gideon, your son, Rian are up there, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. So they'll all probably see Gak like run up the stairs, and then he kind of slows down when he's in there.
Hey guys.
Hello?
Hi, Gak. Are you all right?
Yeah, how close are we to the Rock of Brawl?
we like a day or two out, John? How much further was it?
If you so choose, the next morning, quote unquote, you can teleport there. You guys are only flying so that everybody could get rested up.
Oh,
you were
right.
already in range.
That's
the whole
right.
time.
That's right.
We're just
Well,
on
Gak,
cruise control.
That's right.
Yeah.
Gak, we were gonna warp there in the morning, so we're very far away. But we'd get there quickly.
Yeah.
Why?
So I was just in my book, and you know how it goes. And it's bad. The rifts are bad. Things aren't good. We really need to. I don't want to stop us from doing other things and stuff like that, because there's so much that's important and all that stuff. But like, I think we really need to take this book to Siri, because when the book's there, I'm gonna find out something that it seems like even Izeran doesn't know. I'm gonna find out something that'll help stop all this. And the Demogorgon, he's been trying to fight off the Demogorgon. It just seems really bad.
I think we should head to Stellaris then.
Yeah. Are we able to refuel here and then go? Like
No.
at the rock? No?
Well, surely we can. We're almost there. We might as well still stop by. And then we can go to Stellaris and refuel, and then we can go to Siri. We're gonna get there. Yeah, it's gonna be okay. And we're gonna get there fast.
What's
And-
Gak's kind of... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kayla.
No, go ahead.
What's Gak's, like, demeanor as he's sharing this information?
Gak is you've seen him like this a little bit before. Not often, but he seems very shaken up.
Mm-hmm.
And he's kind of fidgeting and like looking around. You can, I think, from knowing him so well, like a passive insight on one of your friends, I think that you can just tell that his brain is like moving at supersonic speed, but he doesn't quite. Not necessarily for any reason. He's just thinking and spiraling and very visibly like nervous.
Ryan, what do you think?
I think that if Izeran I think that we should stop at the rock. I really do think that's important. I think that we just need to have haste when we get back to the material plane.
Well, Brienne, you know your environment well from home, right? It's like you could describe any type of flower, of course, that would be near your home.
Mm.
I could get us there very easily. Sirsa has travel by plants. Boop, 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 boop.
What?
We could literally talk to a plant and then fast travel through it. I think that's how the spell works. Hold on, let me look.
What?
It's
Yeah.
transport via plants is.
Yeah,
Ah.
baby. It's a stupid spell, but Sirsa knows it now.
It's awesome.
Hold
Now
on,
I'm
wait.
not sure if that'll work
Oh, you
from
bitch.
the astral plane to the prime material. Does the spell say
Right.
between planes?
We'll probably have to go home Hold on. This plant.
Yeah, you're not gonna have to
cats?
take a boat
Oh.
if you can figure out a tree in
Right.
Siri to teleport through.
Yeah. Cast. Here we go. Just throw it in there.
Because it's probably not a good idea for us to fly the Nautiloid to Siri.
Yeah. Same plane of existence. So we'll have to go back to our tower, park, and then walk through trees.
You guys are so fucking stupidly strong.
But if Rian could draw the flower, Yursa can take us there. Via tree or flower.
I think it'd have to be a tree because it says between
Yeah.
a large or
Tree.
larger inanimate
Draw
plant.
me a tree. Listen, I'm so excited about the spell. Let's make it happen.
My cabin has lots of large plants.
Oh, even better. See? We are going to get there very quickly. So, Jack, if you want to draw me a tree as close to memory as you possibly can, I can take you right there.
Well, if I think that Rian's a better drawer, and I think that the place
he?
that he would draw is closer to where we need to go than my cabin.
There's one I can remember. It might take us a day or so to most of the trees in the village were burned down, but I believe provided no one has taken them, there should be a few left in the ruins.
Okay. Well, we can make that happen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
I'll-
I'm not trying to rush us or to get us somewhere.
You're not. This is. Go ahead, Gideon.
I'm still in agreement with Gak. I think we should go back now.
I think that is a decision for you to make, and if you're sure.
Gideon, only time to make sure that the painting, the description is just right, so that way there's no catastrophe during the spell.
Rian, I will help you. And she looks at you with like, she'll help with more than just that. She knows that this is hard.
I got more than what I wanted from coming to the Astral Sea. This place will be here when I come back. The material plane might not. And that's my home too.
I'm not done with this place either. We'll be back.
Wait, why do you want to come back? You know what? We can talk about that
It's
later.
really cool.
And we go to Stellaris, and then we go home.
And when we're going through the rifts, we're going to be basically in the Astral Sea anyway.
Kind
In a
of.
weird way.
Anyways. I mean, should we wake up Enid and Basil? This feels weird. Or do we just
Yes.
go?
Well, we should head there and let
Yeah.
them know.
I didn't realize you guys were up here. I was just trying to come and see how close we were to the rock.
Well, there's no further objections. We can head to Stellaris immediately.
Let's go.
As everyone kind of splits off, Gak is gonna like grab Brienne's hand very gently and kind of like take him and almost like pull him close just so they can talk semi-privately.
Rianne, I know that going back there is hard, and I know that you... Listen, I know you. I know that you... If you don't want to go back there at all, but if you had to go back there, you had to warm yourself up to it. And I know sometimes I feel that way when I have to talk to people and stuff like that, and I just want to let you know that you can prepare to do something a lot, and sometimes it's still going to be hard, but what's important is that you have people with you that care and will make sure that you are okay. You have Hirsha and Gideon and Basil and me that will help you along the way, and you have Enid, who is going to feel very similar, and we'll be there for Enid, we'll be there for you, and you and Enid will be there for each other in a way that we can't be, but it'll be okay. I am so sorry that we have to go back sooner than we had thought, because I know that it makes it harder for you to plan for it. So I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's not your fault, Gak. Thank you. That does make me feel better.
I'm always here for you, buddy.
I think Rianne would hug Gak at that.
Yeah.
And I think that Rianne would want to, right after that, he would want to go find Enid.
Where is Enid?
She actually is awake, and she was about to go. You find her getting ready to approach wherever Basil is sleeping. You don't know why.
Yeah.
Why would she do that?
Well, he might have a little bit of an idea, which is why he's about to feel real bad.
Yeah.
He approaches and he sort of stops for a moment and debates, but then says, Enid.
Yeah.
Could I, he looks to the door. Could I borrow you for a moment?
Yeah.
I wanted
to
you
follow
to
him wherever. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, just a little bit of a distance away, so that way we're not talking in front of wherever, just in front of Basil's door or wherever she's staying.
Yeah.
He would say, I wanted to be the first to tell you. Gak. The book spoke to Gak again. The mage that advised my father, the city that's trapped in the abyss, he told Gak that he needs to get to Ciri immediately. He needs to go place the book in Iziran is his name, in his tower. Yrsa can get us there, but it's through a spell that allows her to create a bridge between plants. Most of the trees in our village were destroyed, so the only ones I know of that I can guarantee are still there are the ones that are in the mountain near the ruins that I found. But the only path out cuts relatively close to the village. It seems like we're going to Syria a lot sooner than I think either of us anticipated. And I wanted to tell you this because I'm not going to pretend like everything is going to be okay and that I'm not scared at all, and that I'm not feeling all of these emotions, because I am. I'm terrified. I am so scared. But Kek said something very wise to me just moments ago. Neither one of us are alone. I'm here for you. You're here for me. And all the rest of them are here for us. Okay?
She's gonna just approach him and kind of crumble into his chest and just rest her head there.
Yeah, and he'll pat her back.
Just wherever you go, take me with you.
I can do that.
And it'll kind of envelop into a full hug at that point.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, all of you, with your decision made, Gideon on the helm, turn the Nautiloid around. Instead of heading to the Rock of Brawl to find your uncle, the last of your family living that you know of, you instead choose this family. New family. The Nautiloid turns around and, connecting the tendrils, you teleport to Stellaris, using one of the 2 vats of fuel you have left. For the sake of brevity, you're able to talk to some of the locals and do some various jobs within the next couple hours to gain enough credits to fill up the Nautiloid, not to full, but to 3 of the 4 vats, giving you 3 teleports total. You gather yourselves again onto the Nautiloid, refueled. Get in, you pull the Nautiloid away from Stellaris. Once again, tendrils connect. You release, teleport. Teleport right outside the floating disc that is the prime material. The Nautiloid starts to shudder as it starts to fly into the atmosphere of Evrand, back into the prime material plane. You watch fire start to erupt from the sides of the Nautiloid's exterior. However, you feel safe. The ship is built for this. You come back to the world of Evrand, flying over the continents. You can see in the distance what looks like the Ashparan Archipelago and the Everfrost and Siri, Dritsek, and eventually the large continent of Ephyra that all of you know and love and call home. The Nautiloid continues flying further and further down. At this point, you can start to see the tops of mountains cresting above the clouds. And as the nautiloid breaks from those clouds, there's land. There is Fira. You don't know how many people see this nautiloid fly over their towns and villages and cities. But you know that you've probably drawn some attention. As you fly over the Shatter Spires, over Wodale, the Sunless Marsh, the High Reach Mountains, Eldin and Ladoon, you see in the distance Stormhold. Eventually, you bring the nautiloid closer to the ground. Gideon, with the help of whoever is around you, so this will be at advantage, I would like you to roll a... Are you proficient with vehicles? Nope.
No.
I would like you to roll a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
The nautiloid is coming in very fast, and you have been used to it flying in... Ooh, that was so close to a natural 20. Okay. You pull up on the controls. Never mind. You use your mind to pull up on the ship itself. As the ship shudders and shakes, you can see that the ground is getting closer and closer and closer, but then eventually you turn and stop right before hitting the ground next to the castle of Stormhold. You see the grass and flowers and everything kick up and dirt be thrown in any direction, as eventually you set the nautiloid down, feeling this rumble, all of you. As all of you gather your things, disembark from the nautiloid, you're back home. Back home. And that is where we're going to end the session.
Woo! Nice. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Be sure to tune in. Not Saturday. Not Tuesday, actually, contrary to what I said yesterday. Kayla and I will be at a Ghost concert on next Tuesday, so that's going to be a lot of fun. So next Wednesday. Yeah. A Monomarth will also be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. So thanks for watching. Be sure to tune in next Wednesday, and we'll see you then.
Wee.